This is for the parents. Just a little advice or talk about helping children to not be bored. That's a word that they like to use. This is boring. I'm bored. So, one thing that I've heard, and maybe you've heard in the past, is that boredom is a state of mind and that you need to change your mind. You cannot lose your boredom unless you choose to let it go and enjoy things in life. So you need to make a plan to find good things to do. Kids can learn to overcome their boredom. When my kids were little, um, I told them, no TV, you have to get off the TV, you have to go outside and play. And they would come up with all kinds of things. One of their favorite things that they came up with was creating a thing called Magic Kids. They would pretend that they were magic and that they could do all kinds of things and that they would go to the moon and all different kinds of things, but they would use their imagination. Kids need to use their imagination and be able to solve their problems of boredom on their own so that when they get older, they're able to strategize and get through issues that they may have as they get older. Another thing is that media time should be something to look forward to and not something that just is given to them that kills their creativity. Do not allow media time to happen early in the day. Children will not get into the habit of thinking of useful or engaging activities for themselves if they're allowed to continually use the media, whether it be a phone or a computer, an iPad, whatever it is. They need to be limited from those electronic devices so that they can actually use their brain to come up with useful and engaging activities that they can do. Even giving them a book to read and helping them, you read one page, they read the next, something to get them engaged in a story. Have them watch the movie Princess Bride. That's a really good movie to watch so that they can see that reading a book is a good thing. So, if you allow too much screen time, it can cause depression and anxiety. In 2018, there were some psychologists from the San Diego State University and University of Georgia who did a study, and it was written up by Dr. Rick Nauert. And it was stated that the more hours of screen time are associated with lower well-being in those aged from 2 to 17. So, and the larger association of that depression or anxiety is happening with adults or adolescents and then for the younger children. The World Health Organization has recently included that there's a gaming disorder, and they've included that in their 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases. So this is becoming a big issue of gaming and having too much time on the computer and electronic devices. So there are some very simple solutions that you may be able to incorporate into your child's life and your life. So the first one is to plan for times when the child is in charge of his own activity. So that means that there's no electronic devices. They have to come up with things to do on their own. And don't be afraid of a little bit of boredom. That will soon pass. After a person sits for a little bit, not knowing what to do, they soon start to use their creative and attentive part of their brain. So you need to be patient. Don't save them from their boredom. Allow them to feel empowered by solving their boredom problems by themselves. So don't jump in when they say, I'm bored, I can't do this. Let them struggle and let them work through it, because that will be so much better for their self-esteem and for everything about their life. They will have more perseverance. Number 2, nurture family relationships. The family is the basic social unit for each of us. Most social learning should happen within the family. Friends are primarily for practicing the social skills that have been mastered at home, so that when you apply them, all of your other life's relationships are better. Don't worry about not seeing friends. Family can and should be their best friends. So work on the relationships in the home to help children learn how to deal with each other and how to work with you. Parents should not tolerate too much time wasting on phones, television, eating around the clock, and sleeping. I had one parent tell me that her child was not out of bed till after 10 o'clock in the morning. Not acceptable. We need to stay on a schedule and have those kids get up and do things that are active and moving and learning and engaging. Teach the children what it means to be useful. Many activities fall into the useful category. If children aren't doing something useful, then ask them, what are you doing that's useful? If they don't seem to want to do anything useful, and it's not a good time for downtime, then give them an instruction to help them find a task or do a task on their own. So give them something useful to do, whether it be sweeping the floor, pulling weeds, reading a book, doing a puzzle, playing a game that's engaging, something to give them something useful to do. Number 4, make a plan. Many people suffocate with their lives with being too planned out. And there certainly needs to be a balance. But during this time of quarantine, most people are not planning and having fun. Make big lists and do them. Sit down with the family and make lists of parties you want to have, things you want to make, sports you want to try, hikes you want to go on. Do the same thing for each child individually. The family list is for regular family fun, and the individual lists are to help children think of things that are most useful to do during the time of boredom that might occur. So help them think of things that they can do to make them so they're not bored and they can use their brain in order to be better at what they need to be doing. Number 5, decrease media time for overall health. When less media is viewed, people are more active. They talk to each other more. They become more motivated and undertake new projects. Get them involved in different games that they can play together, play on their own. Teach them how to play solitaire so they can learn to use strategies in that game. Anything that will get them involved in using their brain to create things for them. Number 6, bonding is essential for overall well-being and to counter the effects of depression and anxiety. Set aside times to look into your child's eyes. Talk to them about their thoughts and their hopes. Go for a walk or take a project together. Work and play together gives you time to talk about things. And if they don't want to do these bonding things, then just help them step out of their comfort zone and do them anyway. Give them an instruction. They need your leadership. Doing things we don't want to do empowers us because we step out of our comfort zones. Empowerment is motivating. Each of us also must motivate ourselves. A parent can't motivate a child, but they can take actions to prepare the environment and the conversations so that the child is more encouraged to choose motivation. Most importantly, parents need to remember that they are the biggest key to their child's motivational success. Parents who engage, bond, instruct, plan, talk, and don't tolerate time wasting can rest assured that their child will eventually choose to motivate themselves. A parent's motivation is contagious, so don't let yourself get down by watching too much TV or playing too many games on your phone. Do things that are more interactive and engaging your child as well.